Okay.
All right, are you ready?
Good evening. This is a meeting of the Township Committee, December 16, 2024. The notice requirements provided for in the Open Public Meetings Act have been satisfied. Notice that this meeting was properly given by transmission to the Asbury Park Press, the Two River Times, and by posting at the Middletown Township Municipal Building and filing with the Township Clerk on January 11, 2024. Committeeman Clark.
Here.
Committeewoman Kratz. Here. Committeeman Sedambrino.
Here.
Deputy Mayor Hybel.
Here.
Mayor Perry.
Here.
Please rise for the pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
At this time, I'd like to ask for a moment of silence to honor our troops serving worldwide, defending our constitutions, freedoms, and way of life. Thank you. Our first item on tonight's agenda, we have a presentation. The Monmouth County Sheriff Sean Golden and Monmouth County Commissioner Nick Durago are here tonight to present radios to the Middletown Township Fire Department as part of a county-wide improvement to the communication system.
Can you talk to drones with this? No.
All right, now easy. The second most expensive things than the drones. Sheriff, looking forward to the new drone program that you have. Well, first of all, good evening, everybody, and it's great to welcome Sheriff Golden and Commissioner Duraco here. Appreciate both of you coming to our meeting tonight. Always our chiefs, thank you, and to Middletown Fire. Always appreciate everything that you're doing. Chief Kane, I want to thank you. I know this is obviously going to be the last meeting, obviously, for us tonight, but your tenure in the chief's ranks is coming to an end, but appreciate your service to the community over the last 5 years in the chief's ranks, and just want to publicly thank you, and congratulations to our deputy chief and soon-to-be Chief Fulsone on your election the other day. So congratulations to all of you on your chief's elections, but Chief Kane, I want to thank you for your service to the So I get a call, I don't know how many, maybe close to a year ago. About a year. Sheriff Golden called me up and he said, Mayor, we have, we're going to be upgrading radio systems. We're going to be upgrading your radio tower over on Red Hill. And we need to ensure that the largest volunteer fire department in the world has as many radios as they need to protect. And I know that we just implemented these new radios, and I'll let the sheriff speak to them in a minute. But I was with some of our firefighters over the weekend. Unfortunately, we had a fire where everyone got out safe, thankfully, but the home certainly wasn't habitable. But one of the firefighters said to me, "That's the clearest I've ever heard somebody tell me what to do on a radio," which is always a good thing. But seriously, I want to thank the sheriff for his leadership, certainly as we continually work on improving communication for our first responders, because at a moment's notice, and as always, communication is key, especially in trying times and during a fire. Commissioner Duraco, I want to thank you and the county commissioners for funding this project, but these are radios being given to the Township of Middletown at no cost to Middletown in order to make this happen and to ensure that our firefighters have everything they need at a moment's notice and with these brand new radios. So Sheriff, Commissioner, thank you so much for your leadership on getting that for us. Sheriff, I don't know if you want to tell us about these.
Thanks so much, and congrats, and thanks to our fire chiefs, both who are retiring as fire chief and the incoming fire chiefs. as usual, they do a tremendous job. I see a lot of EMS, so I want to thank EMS as well. I mean, you have a tremendous amount of volunteer spirit here, and we just want to assist in any way we can. And I think the radios are a big part of that. A year ago, the mayor and I had a conversation about the radio system. As you know, we're doing our partnership with dispatch. We had discussed at some point we would have to migrate over the radio system to our digital trunk system, and that's what this is about. That would take some upgrades. We spent the county with the commissioner. Nick DeRocco is our fire liaison. Certainly does a great job for us at the fire academy and with the fire service in the county. And Director Arnone, who couldn't be here this evening, but wanted to be, sends his regards, and really the whole board is so supportive of public safety. They recognize the continuous upgrade and investment when it comes to public safety communications and radios, and this was part of it. We had to upgrade the Red Hill Tower site. That was almost $1 million when it was all said and done with the equipment on the back end to tie it all into a network that is 13 other tower sites in the county. So with a total of 14 and some other building amplifiers and the like around the county, it is a really remarkable and robust system, and the radios are part of that. So we, with the commissioner level, decided to fund the fire service that we have as partners. So what that means is not only Middletown, but Kingsburg, Union Beach, Highlands, Atlantic Highlands, everybody right on down to Brielle and out west, and the fire service are receiving the same type of radios.
I swear Sean told me I was the only one.
And you know, the idea being is that we want that clear communication with the number of channels available and interoperability. We'll get there. There's some fire stations, you know, we dispatch from over 100, Jonathan, over 100 fire stations, and it's, you know, so you can, it's pretty remarkable. Now, I pointed out Jonathan Gregory, raise your hand. Now, this is one of our radio techs back at Monmouth County Communications Center, and day and night, he maintains those base stations and tower sites, and more importantly, he's always responsive to the chiefs when they want to do all the programming and ID numbers and everything else that is needed to be done. So I want to thank John.
So he's got to deal with Kevin.
Well, he's worse yet. He's got to deal with Bobby Dawson, my other sheriff, and me. But at the end of the day, he does that. And so again, the radios, I know they'll be put to good use here, and we hope that the fire service, not just here in Middletown, but the county benefits from the package. And I want to thank the mayor and certainly the governing body for the investment you all made in it, because as you know, you too are buying radios for the fire and police department. We're just helping out. And
It's funny that my CFO laughs.
yeah.
Sorry.
As you well know, you're invested in the same thing. And we did a kind of a hasty switch over, though we were handing out radios around the county, but we hastily did a switch over because we were having some issues with the Middletown's old frequency system, and it worked out. And I know the police department is right behind us on coming aboard. So with that, I want to congratulate you all, and I want to thank our county commissioners and again your town for just tremendous effort in putting it all together. Commissioner?
Yeah, no, Sheriff, you said it so well. Just to add on to that, the entire Monmouth County Board of County Commissioners is really grateful for the leadership of the mayor, the township committee, all your fire service, and your public safety personnel. The collaboration between the county and this town, this big town county, is great, and that's why you guys really are commended for the innovation and the continued collaboration that you always seek with us. And I think that's why your services are delivered so well, and why this is one of the best towns to live in the entire county. The director could not be here, as the sheriff mentioned. He would love to have been here because this is near and dear to his heart. Shared services, public safety, that's something that we all pride ourselves on. Really, that's our foremost responsibility as elected officials. So very, very excited about this, and just know that you continue to call on the county when the township needs help.
Sean.
Yes.
Yeah. Chief?
I want to thank the sheriff. So the sheriff was kind enough, we got 115 portable radios from him. As he had mentioned, we had a radio failure about a week ago. I was able to call him, the mayor, Jonathan at the radio shop, and in about 6 hours they had our radios spun up. I went out and picked them up, and we were able to deploy them last Sunday. This previous Saturday morning. We had our first working fire. Again, thank God nobody was hurt, but the interoperability. It happened to be in the Leonardo section right near the Atlanticons border, and the Atlanticons fire chief was one of the first ones there and was able to get on the same frequency, so our chiefs knew what we had going in. The importance of that interoperability cannot be understated. I also want to thank the mayor and the committee and our CFO, our administrator, because our town also invested very heavily in this. While we did get the 115 from the county, it's not near enough. We need to equip all of our firefighters with this. They also saw the need, and we bought an additional 155 portable radios and 69 mobile radios to completely switch over all the trucks. So we'll be completely on this new trunk system, and I won't speak for your chiefs, but it's truly a lifesaver, because without the proper communications, to be able to hear people call for help, hear our own people get in there, it had us in a very bad way. And through this partnership, we're able to solve that and get us back to where we can operate safely on the fire ground. And so, Mayor, I appreciate it. Sheriff, I can't say enough. And to the committee, thank you very much. I know it was a tough investment, but we appreciate you standing behind us. Thank you.
Well, I want to thank everybody out here. The investment, I know, was more than a $5 million investment from the county level. Obviously, Colleen chuckled earlier when we were talking about the prices, but for switching over our police and EMS as well, was a huge investment for the town. So always want to thank the partnership between the county and the township, and then thank the chiefs for their efforts in making this work, even when we weren't expecting to switch it over at that moment's notice, but you all do exactly what we know you do so well, and that's being adaptable and making it work when it needs to work. So Sheriff, again, Commissioner, thank you. Chiefs, thank you. Appreciate everything that you're doing. So we'll do a quick vote on this tab. No,
Don't press
it's
the
$5 million. I want to at least touch it.
Don't press that.
See like an $8,000 radio feels like, It's not charging anymore. Great. It'll be the one somebody picks up too.
1, 2, 3. Thank you so much.
All right, let's give it up for our firefighters. Oh, really, let's give it up for all of our firefighters. Heibel and I are actually, he's going to be my conference room. What's that? Go orange? Yeah. Orange button at the top of the radio. They better remain in an 077 4AS.
I wonder how they're going to handle that as far as issuance. That should be interesting. If they should have to sign for it. I don't know if that dollar amount was correct, what he said, but those radios are going to be expensive. And when they leave, they need to turn it over. You know what I'm saying? We don't want to have another meeting 3 years from now saying we have spent $8 million now to buy more radios.
There were a couple ordinances by radios in the beginning of the fall.
Yes.
Some from the county, some from...
Our next item on tonight's agenda, we have a presentation recognizing EMS volunteer Dennis Michael Reardon for 50 years of service to Fairview First Aid Squad. If you'd like to please come forward.
Mike, 50 years. So, you know, it's always you know, an honor and to be able to pick the brain of, to understand how things have transformed for both our fire and our EMS over 50 years. And, you know, oftentimes when we have these 50-year celebrations, you know, we just had a firefighter 50 years at Billy Grange over in Lincroft. And, you know, Billy and I got to talking about the different things that have shifted over time. You know, how Firematic has changed, how EMS has changed. And, you know, the one unbelievable thing that I always feel during these ceremonies, though, is the passion of the individual that's receiving this key. Because you realize that no matter what has happened in their life, no matter what has happened with whatever station they come out of, they've been dedicated to the people that live in this great town. And I do know, the one thing that I thought was unbelievable, early in Mike's membership, he was recognized for answering 500 calls in a single year. That's unbelievable. That deserves a round of applause. So as a life member and at Fairview First Aid, Mike is celebrating 50 years of volunteer service with Middletown Township. In his 50 years, Mike served as president, vice president, treasurer, trustee, assistant treasurer, chief engineer, assistant engineer. Any other titles you want with that, or are you good with that?
Janitor.
Okay. What is it?
Janitor.
Janitor, all right. We'll stick with that one, you know, in there somewhere. But Mike also served and continues to serve on many squad and EMS department committees, including serving as a delegate for Fairview to the EMS department and steering committee. He is also a volunteer at Station 8 and the Field Comms unit, and has been active in both of those organizations for years. Mike is an important part of our community, and the Dorothy, you know, and Karen wrote this, and it's you can feel the love and passion in this, even though it's only 2 paragraphs. It's everything that needs to be said in a single letter. So to know that you have not only the passion yourself, my friend, but the love and respect of so many of your colleagues that are here today. Mike, it's an honor to know you. It's an honor to have you as a part of the fabric of our community. And it's my honor to present you with the key to the city. Our key to the township is proudly presented to Dennis Michael Reardon in grateful appreciation of 50+ years of service to Middletown Township Emergency Medical Services with Fairview First Aid, giving this the 16th day of December 2024. Mike, congratulations. Peer pressure him into it, would you?
He's never shy of words.
The one thing I mentioned is how different it is now than it was like you said before. And a lot of changes, some good, some I don't think so good. It needed to be made. It's been a while.
Thanks. Chief? All right, let's get it. All right, I'll take it. All right.
Sorry.
Dorothy, Karen, you want to come up here?
How about the whole squad?
Yeah, bring out the whole squad.
Hey, Merry Christmas.
Oh, yes.
Go, go, go.
Come on, Mike. Yes. Oh. Mike? Go where? Oh, sit. I know. But now you can stay here longer so that Eric has to stay home. Take me to soccer practice. I was supposed to. All right.
Alright, everyone ready? 1, 2, 3. Beautiful. Thank you so much.
Well, no, Merry Christmas.
Let's give it one more time up for Mike over there. It's a little cold for me out there.
Yours is close, it's too wet.
We do 2 presentations, I already need a piece of chocolate. Jesus. Well, I've already able to candy at a kid's, All right,
Our final presentation for tonight is for the record. We have proclamation supporting drive sober or get pulled over 2024 year-end holiday crackdown.
nobody want to be honored? Oh, okay.
The approval of minutes for tonight are for November 18, 2024 regular meeting and the December 2nd, 2024 workshop meeting.
Motion to approve. Second.
Committeeman Clark.
Yes.
Committeewoman Kratz.
Yes.
Committeeman Sedambrino.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Hybel.
Yes.
Mayor Perry.
Yes.
Motion carries to approve minutes. At this time, we have public hearing of proposed ordinances. Our first ordinance, 2024-3440, an ordinance repealing and replacing Chapter 540-1001 to 1012 of the Code of the Township of Middletown establishing new storm water management regulations.
Any member of the public wishing to speak on public ordinance number 2024-3440? Seeing no member of the public stepping forward, move to close the public portion and approve. Second.
Committeeman Clark.
Yes.
Committeewoman Kratz.
Yes.
Committeeman Sedambrino.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Hybel.
Yes.
Mayor Perry.
Yes.
Motion carries passes ordinance on second and final reading. Our
I
next,
will is eating like a thing that I feed my 3-year-old kid. It's healthy. Jesus.
the next ordinance we have is 2024-3444, an ordinance establishing mixed-use development standards for affordable housing.
Any member of the public wishing to speak on public ordinance number 2024-3444? Seeing no member of the public stepping forward, we will close the public portion and approve. Second.
Committeeman Clark.
Yes.
Committeewoman Kratz.
Yes.
Committeeman Sedambrino.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Hybel.
Yes.
Mayor Perry.
Yes.
Motion carries to pass this ordinance on second and final reading. Our final ordinance for public hearing, we have 2024-3446, an ordinance amending and supplementing Chapter 423 of the Code of the Township of Middletown governing stormwater regulations to include Article 6, tree removal and replacement requirements as mandated by the NJDEP.
Any member of the public wishing to speak on public ordinance number 2024-3446? See no member of the public stepping forward, move this public portion and approve.
Second.
Committeeman Clark.
Yes.
Committeewoman Kratz.
Yes.
Committeeman Sedambrino.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Hybel.
Yes.
Mayor Perry.
Yes.
Motion carries to pass this ordinance on second and final reading. At this time, I'd like to ask the Township Committee to adopt the consent agenda, which would include resolutions 24-321 through 24-337, and including an appointment of firefighter Shane Brannon.
Motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Committeeman Clark.
Yes.
Committeewoman Kratz.
Yes.
Committeeman Sedambrino.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Hybel.
Yes.
Mayor Perry.
Yes.
Motion carries to adopt the consent agenda. At this time, we have the Township Committee acting as the ABC issuing authority. We have Resolution 24-338, a resolution rescinding resolution number 24-307, authorizing place-to-place transfer of liquor license at request of applicant Circus Makers Inc.
Amazing. I feel like we just proved this at the last meeting, but okay. Motion to approve.
Second.
Committeeman Clark.
Yes.
Committeewoman Kratz.
Yes.
Committeeman Sedambrino.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Hybel.
Yes.
Mayor Perry.
Yes.
Motion carries to adopt resolution 24-338. At this time, we have Township Committee comments.
All right. Committeeman Clark.
Thank you, Mayor. First, this past weekend, we had the opportunity to recognize George Richdale for 70 years of service in the fire department. We were talking about like we were in 50 in Little Range a couple weeks ago with 50, which are remarkable all on their own. But 70 years is just unfathomable to me. I've been in the department now for 27 years, and I can't imagine what 50 more feels like. It's pretty unbelievable. So I just want to say congratulations to all three of them. Along the lines of the fire department, if anybody heard that Shane Brennan got his department number today. I know the four down here know Shane well. When I was a chief, Shane was riding his bike around Bayshore and chronicling the fire department's activities via YouTube. He actually, I think he was the first to chronicle our exploits on YouTube, and kind of helped us form a social media policy. So I just want to congratulate Shane on getting to where he wanted to be. He's wanted to do this since he was a little guy. He's still a young man, but since a little guy. So it's exciting to see. Officially makes me an old guy in the department. Little kids like that are now becoming full-fledged firefighters.
Especially because he's been around for 10 years. So like by the time he gets to 50, somebody's going to be like, you've really been around for 60.
And one other thing, I'd just like to, I'd like to thank the mayor for his leadership over the last couple of weeks. We've had some pretty crazy stuff going on with drones and otherwise, and he stepped up and been a great advocate for the opinion of the committee and the township and the community as a whole, trying to get some answers. So I appreciate that, Mayor.
Thank you.
That's it for me. Thank you.
All right. Committeeman Sedambrino.
Thank you, Mayor, and Committeeman Clark, the mayor has gotten the same answers that all the mayors throughout the state have gotten. Absolutely.
Good. Zero.
Thank you. I do want to congratulate Mike for his 50 years of service. The mayor mentioned two items. Mentioned compassion and commitment, and those are two things that define your volunteerism. 50 years, as Committeeman Clark mentioned, even 70 years. I don't know how I wrap my head around that. That kind of commitment is something to look up to, and something that maybe one day I would like to achieve. Hats off to our volunteers and all our volunteers at Chiefs as well. So thank you very much. The only other thing I have, Mayor, is this is our last meeting. I will congratulate you again on your leadership with regard to our still mysterious drones. Although we've seen all the news, I'm glad you weren't in.
Yeah, me too.
Just like to wish everyone a
Thank you. Committeewoman Kratz.
Thank you, Mayor. So when you go third, you echo a lot of the same sentiments along the day, so I will echo some.
I know,
You
switch it
just
up.
start with me earlier. I
Yeah.
might have to like ask in the new year. That might be
Yeah.
a good way.
Change over.
Change
Yeah,
over.
switch.
Yeah, for sure. But just so wonderful. So we, again, have had just the pleasure and the blessing in Middletown to honor our public servants who have really served Middletown incredibly well, 250 years and a 70 year, which I was able to participate in over the weekend too. And it's amazing to think of that kind of time. And what struck me too in honoring over the weekend was that the family, saying that, you know, the children were saying that there wasn't a meal that didn't happen where they don't remember their father having to jump up over a holiday and responding to a fire or something going on in town. So, you know, it's not only honoring those who serve, but their families also in addition. And so we're very fortunate to have so many families who are willing to do that and willing to sacrifice that way. So very thankful for that for sure. And also just shows, you know, over this fire over the weekend too, the response. And we do talk about, you know, commitment and dedication and all of those. And I too happen to know Shane for a few years, and it makes me so happy to see these young guys too, with all due respect, gentlemen, these younger men too stepping up and just the want and the desire to also in turn serve our community. So we're really so fortunate in town, and so feeling very thankful and grateful to also serve here and live here too for my lifetime. So thanks to everyone, and wishing everyone a happy holiday, and catch you in the new year. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Deputy Mayor.
Got a couple things. I want to thank the county commissioners, Sheriff Golden, for, what was the cost, $8,000 per radio, is that correct?
About that, you know, when we get all these accessories and everything.
Okay.
114?
115 radios.
It's a good deal. 114 after one grill.
Yeah. And do I push the emergency button?
Is the green color on it?
It's a
Yeah.
safety video.
It's just the relationship and the partnership we have with the sheriff and the commissioners to get that to us is a big deal. So thank you, chiefs. Much appreciated. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, everyone. Great job, Mike. 50 years, amazing task. Kevin, you got about what, 49 right now, or
A little less.
a little bit less? I was just telling the mayor you just had a big birthday, right?
Yes.
Happy birthday. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, everyone.
Thank you. This is our last Township Committee meeting. I won't repeat anything that we said. I just want to start off by thanking our professionals that are here. You know, it's always amazing at the end of this year. I feel like it comes up so quick, but Tony and Heidi, both of your teams, to the mayor's office, Laura, Shannon, to the communications office, and Tara, Raven, and Gianna, Colleen, Ted, to the Township Committee, to our chiefs, to everyone over the course of the year that the mayor has to work alongside, that has to work with, do a budget for, handle any matters that come up, deal with drones flying over the town, whatever the case may be. It's been an absolute honor and my privilege to sit in this seat. It's truly been a unbelievable year, and it's been an unbelievable opportunity for me to once again sit in this chair. So I want to thank every single one of you for everything that you do, for your commitment to the community, and for keeping and for ensuring that Middletown's a great place for our residents to live. So I won't belabor it anymore. I just want to thank you. I want to thank the public. I want to thank the people, the folks that come here every single meeting. You know, we're not gonna agree on everything, but that's the beauty of this chamber, is that we can come in here and we can agree, we can disagree, we can work out problems. At the end of the day, we're all just doing what we want for the town, and that's to make it a great, we keep it a great place to live for our families, for generations to come. So thank being said, any member of the public wishing to make a public comment may do so. Ask that you state your name and your address for the record. At 4 minutes, I'll let you know that you have 1 minute remaining, and if you can begin to wrap up your comments. With that being said, any member of the public wishing to make a public comment? Yes, sir. Yep. Joe's going to put that microphone right there for you.
Good evening, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. My name is Ray Mallon, I live at 58 Wally Drive in Wincroft at the Four Ponds Development. And I'd like to thank the business administrators for spending about an hour with me last week to talk about a couple of my, I wouldn't say issues, but I'll talk about process improvement for the recent assessment or reevaluation. So the good news is, I guess it worked very well. Overall happy with the process. But unfortunately, I guess the letters didn't go out to all the targeted residents. So I didn't get one and had a little sticker on my house that said someone came by to visit me. Now, unfortunately, I'm getting old. I live alone, no widower. So if someone wants to visit my house when we head to town, I'd appreciate that. I know you're coming. And I know even the letter may have been misplaced in the mail, but I just thought it'd be nice to bring it to your attention. Since I live in an HOA, it might be nice if you can notify the HOA that you're going to have these bunch of people around the neighborhood, and it might be helpful to reach out to the HOA to do that. I don't know if the assessor's office has a communication plan that encompasses that. I also thought another item would be, once you do the evaluation, since real estate is kind of crazy right now, and the assessment is going to go for a certain percentage, you may want to notify some people ahead of time that the assessment's coming in quite high. Mine came in, since I moved in, it was probably about 40%. So I'm a recent addition to Wincroft and Middletown Township, moved in 2020. I lived in Monmouth County since like '82. The third point is basically more, I'll say, national in scope. I think the SALT deduction needs to be reassessed. That's the federal tax law. And I think given real estate taxes, state income taxes, it's time maybe there should be ground root effort. And I know that many of you participate in county or state committees, and maybe it's time that we get some of our federal representatives on board that given that the tax law is going to be reassessed this year, or at least lapse, that it'd be good if we can get our representatives to look at this again and at least raise the cap to some number. Hopefully higher than my taxes may be after this reassessment. And along the same lines, point 4 is the state tax on sales of a house over $1 million. I think that is now beginning to distort the real estate market. I freely admit I never expected Monmouth County to ever be assessed close to $1 million in a house. My wife and I started in 1992 when we bought our Center Hall Colonial Ocean Township for $237,000. And I sold it for $560 in 2020. I never thought I'd be in a position to say I have a house, a township, a condo that is now approaching $1 million. And I can say I'm fortunate, but I just think it's not fair because I think everyone's going to hit against that cap, and it's going to make your tax assessor's job so much more difficult. Not to mention how many complaints you may get as committees of how this is going to be. So again, given an election is coming in the next year, again, given all your connections, can you then get some grassroots effort to get them to raise that cap as well, and maybe double it to $2 million? Because I think right now, we don't know where this market's going to go, and I think you might as well give yourself some relief. I don't think the supply side of this equation is going to get resolved soon, and given the current demand, I think it's not going to change. Recently, I think I was going to get higher, but I don't have a, I might say, crystal ball on that. I think federal level to sort of even the playing field as to what people's taxes should be. Other than that, that's all my points, unless you have any questions.
No, thank you very much. I agree with you wholeheartedly. I believe that the salt production should be not only brought back, but increased from the federal level. I think that it has a spending problem that I've railed against. I think that's part of it, the biggest issue. In 2017, the state budget was in the $40 billion range. It's now more than $60 billion. In just 8 years, it's increased $20 billion. That's an unsustainable path of spending, which causes municipalities to have to implement unfunded mandates, which then comes right back to you, and you have to cover the cost. And there was one that we needed to pass today that was a requirement of the state to do, which will only increase costs for the township to have someone go out and inspect trees. That's a requirement of the state of New Jersey, to go and inspect trees. So that all boils down to the DEP says it has to happen, so we'll pass it to the towns, because we don't want to raise costs. We're going to force the municipalities to do it. And, you know, I think that an issue is certainly arriving for the governor. I know that he has put forth a requirement of all departments to stop hiring and a 5% cut across the board for all their budgets, because the tax revenue estimates are not coming in even close to where they need to be coming in at to get to these pie-in-the-sky expectations that they put out. Because it's all a game when it comes to passing your budget and achieving the tax generation that is necessary to pass a budget. So, but I agree with you. From the federal level, I have talked to both Republicans and Democrats about reinstituting salt deduction. I truly believe that that is going to happen. From the state level, though, New Jersey has a spending problem. We spend like crazy at the state level, and it's only hurting and forcing out hardworking individuals from being able to afford, retired people from being able to afford to live here.
No, I agree. I mean, part of it is costs of how you manage as a township. You have budgets. What was the budget for you last year, or this current year? What's your current year?
$100 million on those.
Right, okay. So you have to manage that, right, or indifferent, and obviously your tax base primarily comes from the real estate tax, property taxes. So I can appreciate that all levels of government, we have a spending problem at the federal level. We have a debt problem at the federal level, not to the same extent at the state level. I don't know what your bond debt level here in Middletown is, but
Colleen?
Very low, it's.
right. Most townships have a low bond debt ratio. I know sometimes the school districts have it higher, but because of their mission is different. But again, we're coming to a point, as I was sharing with the administrator, is we're coming to a tipping point now between the tax law expiring at the federal level and election coming up here in New Jersey, which will be a referendum on the last 8 years. It will be an open election, and I'm sure taxes will be, again, the number one item of every matter of discussion.
You hope.
Okay, well, I fully expected in the last election being as close as it was, I expected it to be as close. But I just think it's important that you hear it from at least around the roots, even though I'm the only one here discussing it, is to let you know that, one, I shared with the administrator that you can use my name as a case to share it with now. Someone came to my meeting and talked to us about it. And it's time to say this isn't a Democratic or Republican issue, this salt. I don't think this $1 million tax on home sales is a Democratic or Republican issue. I think it now is going to become an equity and fairness issue of how you assess values to people's houses. And I think that's the thing that you should bring forward to your fellow municipal partners and the state level, is that this is an equity issue. It's going to become worse and worse. And like I said, your tax assessments are going to get skewed because of this. And I think that's not what you want, and you don't want that headache, I don't think. So anyway, thank you for your time.
I appreciate your time. Thank you very much for your comments.
Yeah, thank you.
Appreciate it. Tara, do you agree with that?
Hello, everyone. Tara Fleming, 49 Brandywine Way. First, thank you to everyone on the committee for your service to the community. My thing is short and I think free. And the question is, when are we going to direct the water company to remove fluoride from the water coming from Middletown? I went on the website and it said that's up to the town, and Middletown was listed as one of the towns that fluoridate the water, and now we know that it's dangerous. The NTF monograph concluded with moderate confidence that higher levels of fluoride exposure, such as drinking water containing more than 1.5 milligrams of fluoride per liter, are associated with lower IQ in children. And just like sort of passing pharmaceuticals onto the public through the drinking water was probably not the right thing to do. And the water company told me they can't do anything about it. It has to come from the township. So I think I emailed you guys, but you guys are really busy.
I've never heard of that authority, but,
This is very well known. I mean, I could find more information.
no, I never, not aware that the town had any authority to direct, aside from regulating and ensuring that the, certain levels of the drinking water to ensure safety, but I've never heard of fluoride being one of those variables that.
I don't think you can move it at municipal level.
Well,
System level.
you go right now onto the New Jersey American Water website. That's exactly what it says.
All
I mean, I don't know if they just put that up there to avoid people calling them and bothering them, but they said they have towns that they didn't have it, they had towns that
Well,
had it.
we certainly, Ted and I were talking earlier today, are certainly about to have a conversation with New Jersey American Water. So it's certainly something I can try to understand a little bit more, because I've never heard that.
Yeah, so if you could, I mean, you just have to let them know to take it out, and it's, I don't think, it is a dangerous pharmaceutical, it's not good for anyone, it doesn't do anything for teeth. It's like a leftover from a petrochemical process, so it doesn't need to be given to the public. I mean, it doesn't need to make it to me, I'm 59 years old, I've been drinking my whole life. But, you know, little children and things like that in the township shouldn't really be drinking it, it's dangerous, and again, medicating the public really without consent. Okay, thank you.
All right, thanks, Sarah. Any other member of the public wishing to make a public comment? Okay, seeing no other member of the public stepping forward, move to close the public portion and adjourn.
Mayor Clark.
Yes.
Mayor Kratz.
Yes.
Mayor Lisa
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Hybel.
Yes.
Mayor Perry.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, and Happy New Year, everybody. Thank you all very much.